Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Some draft picks arrive in the NBA with difficulty performing well, and so they are sent to the G League to develop. Bronny James was signed and occupies a spot among the 15 players under contract, and was heavily criticized by fans and NBA analysts. In the G League, Bronny has been standing out, maturing and showing that he can be useful on the roster in the playoffs. Bronny James scored 39 points in a single game and will be integrated into the main roster for the playoffs. Bronny James is on a bit of a hot streak. In fact, he's been so good the last week that some might even start to consider him a problem. Last week with the Los Angeles Lakers extremely short-handed, Bronny scored a career-high 17 in 30 minutes off the bench. Then last night he went off for 39 points in a G League game against the Santa Cruz Warriors. Bronny made 14 of 21 field goal attempts and hit 4 of 8 three-pointers. He also had 7 rebounds, 4 assists and 4 steals. With the outside shooting and strong finishes around the hoop, it was the perfect encapsulation of everything JJ Redick has to say about his development this season. Meanwhile, the Lakers lost to the Orlando Magic while Dwight Howard pretended to shoot a laser and danced to an awesome song from 1989. Considering the Lakers have lost 3 straight games, Bronny going off the G League is a welcome distraction. LeBron James hyped message to Bronny after G League career-high 39 points. LeBron James sure is excited after his son's huge performance. The Los Angeles Lakers suffered their 3rd straight loss on Monday with a 118-106 defeat to the Orlando Magic. It was another frustrating result for the Lakers, even with Luka Doncic and LeBron James on the court together. On the other hand, the G League team, South Bay Lakers, got a 122-118 win over the Santa Cruz Warriors on Monday night. It was a strong performance for South Bay, which earned its 14th win of the year. In turn, Bronny James broke out with a new career high in points, 39, and added 7 rebounds and 4 assists in 38 minutes. Bronny James, who has been back and forth between the NBA and the G League all year, had his best game since being drafted 55th overall by the Lakers in 2024. As a result, LeBron James was hyped about his son's outing in the G League, and the Lakers superstar had a message on X. "Smile through it all, young. Keep going." LeBron James wrote with a series of emojis as well as Bronny's highlights. Bronny James played well, shooting 14 of 21 from the field with a 4 of 8 clip from 3 despite picking up 5 fouls. Bronny James has played sparingly with the NBA team. Throughout the season, he is averaging just 2.3 points per game with 0.6 rebounds and 0.6 assists per game in an average of just under 6 minutes. However, he did break out in the March 20th loss to the Milwaukee Bucks. The Lakers were missing quite a few players, including LeBron James, Doncic, Austin Reeves, and Dorian Finney-Smith, so Bronny James played 29 minutes off the bench, scoring 17 points in the process. Now, he has performed his best in his young career in the G League, and the shots appear to be falling for LeBron James' son. South Bay faces Santa Cruz once again on Tuesday, so Bronny James should be a big factor in that one. The Lakers' defense has been a disappointment. Lakers defense missing in 3rd straight loss despite return of full roster. Be it fatigue or structural issues, the Lakers have allowed 123 points per game over their past 7 losses. The Los Angeles Lakers have their full lineup back on the floor. Now, their defense has gone missing. The Lakers' defense made a token appearance in the first half against Orlando on Monday night. But then, Los Angeles failed to guard the Magic's Franz Wagner or Paolo Banchero and lost their 3rd straight game, 118-106. "I think we should look back to the way we played in that 8-game winning streak, February 20th to March 6th, said Luka Doncic, who led the Lakers with 32 points in the loss. "I think we got a little bit satisfied, and we can't afford that." The Lakers roster was back at full strength on Saturday, when LeBron James returned from a 7-game absence due to a groin strain and Rui Hachimura was back after missing 12 games with a knee injury. But, Los Angeles was routed at home that night, falling 146-111 to the Chicago Bulls. Monday night wasn't quite as bad, but the outcome was the same. There's a couple guys, maybe from the schedule or from being out of the lineup, that just look tired, Lakers coach J.J. Redick said. That happens periodically throughout a season when a group gets tired. That's what it feels like right now. We weren't able to sustain our level of intensity we started the game with. The Lakers sent on the 8-game winning streak shortly after acquiring Doncic from the Dallas Mavericks on February 2. Since then, injuries, most notably to James, have set in, and they have lost 7 of 10. Redick said it might be a matter of better communication and getting the new rotation back into a rhythm. But, the defensive letdowns in the last 2 games have been concerning. We've got to get back to who we are, focusing on that, the coach said. I think because of the lack of court time, prioritizing rest over shoot-arounds and walkthroughs over the last couple of weeks, we've just developed some really bad habits defensively. That came to fruition. And there's always some weird stuff that happens at this time of the year. To give up 81 points to the Bulls in a half and have our worst defensive game of the season when we were whole was disappointing. Wagner, who scored 32 points, and Banchero, who added 30, got to their spots on the floor and did what they wanted in the second half Monday night, and the Lakers couldn't stop them. This team is built around those two, and trying to stop them is really hard, Doncic said. I think we started the game well. We played great defense and they made some tough shots. The way we played the first half, we have to play that way the whole 48 minutes. Despite being the lowest scoring team in the NBA, the Magic shot 49.4%, 42 for 85, and had just 9 turnovers. The Lakers blocked 1 shot. They scored 118 points. That's not good enough in today's NBA, said Austin Reeves. We've got to figure out how to do better, especially with switching. In the third quarter we let our offense affect our defense, Dorian Finney-Smith said. It's up to us. We've got to hold each other accountable. We've got to put together a 48-minute game. J.J. Redick, Lakers look tired and going through it right now. The return to full health was supposed to kick the Los Angeles Lakers into gear heading into this final stretch of the regular season, but the opposite has been the case for head coach J.J. Redick's team. For the second straight game, the Lakers failed to execute and lacked energy as they fell to the Orlando Magic 118-106. It was an extremely disappointing showing, especially considering the Lakers had one of their worst performances of the year on Saturday against the Chicago Bulls. Most concerning is the lack of energy, particularly on defense, and Redick admitted that his team looks tired, via Spectrum Sportsnet. We had it for about 25 games and we can get back there. I think a couple guys, maybe from the schedule and being in and out of the lineup and a couple guys being injured, I don't know, we just looked tired. And I don't know what contributes to that. It happens periodically throughout a season where the group gets tired. That's what it feels like right now. We weren't able to sustain the level intensity we started the game with and I thought guys started out well. The Lakers started strong and were solid through most of the second half as well, but once again another awful third quarter doomed them and Redick feels they need to clean up some things. We had really good intention to start the game. We tried to clean some things up today but we still gotta clean some things up with some of our execution and coverages. This is the worst time for the Lakers to get into a funk as the playoffs near and Redick understands that the Lakers as a group need to find their rhythm once again. We're going through it a little bit. We gotta get back into the flow and the rhythm. Those guys, I think it's not just them getting back into their flow, but it's the group and how the group functions. Exactly how they will do that is unclear, but Redick and his staff will need to do everything they can on their part, and the same must be done by the players to come together and get out of this rough stretch. J.J. Redick giving Lakers grace to find rhythm. This was also something J.J. Redick spoke about following the Lakers' prior loss to the Bulls. Redick was unsure whether the Lakers getting everyone back caused a change in their mentality that everything was just going to click back into place, but noted that isn't how things work, though he will give his team grace to find that rhythm again. That's just not the way it works. I think the guys know that, Redick said. I'm not saying that's what they assumed, and you'll have to ask them that. The thing that we have talked about all season long though is grace. So, the group inherently gets some grace for what this last 3 weeks has looked like. It's not an excuse, it's just the nature of where a group felt very connected. Then you lose some games on the road, you have some injuries and all that stuff. You gotta get reconnected. That's where our group is. We'll get there. We, however, don't have a lot of time to do that. It's gotta be now. It can't be in a week or 2 weeks. It's gotta be now. Luka Doncic's post-game handshake is turning heads after Lakers loss to Magic. The Orlando Magic and the Los Angeles Lakers faced off on Monday with Luka Doncic winding up on the losing end. The Magic walked away with a 118-106 win. Orlando was led by Franz Wagner, who finished with 32 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds. Additionally, Paolo Banchero finished with 30 points and 7 rebounds. It was a much-needed win for the Magic given the team's continued playoff push. The Lakers have been on a roll since acquiring Doncic at the trade deadline, and Orlando was able to overcome his 32-point performance. After the game, Doncic had an interesting interaction with Magic head coach Jamahl Mosley, who used to be an assistant head coach for the Dallas Mavericks from 2014 to 2021. A lengthy embrace between #Magic coach Jamahl Mosley and Lakers star Luka Doncic after the final buzzer in Orlando. The two are, of course, familiar with one another from their time spent together previously in Dallas. The two embraced each other for a moment, and it looked like Mosley had a long message for Doncic. It is not certain what was being said as both individuals had their mouths covered. Mosley and Doncic enjoy some friendly banter during games against each other, but now the superstar is doing so in a different jersey. Luka and Mosley pic.twitter.com/cmn5tty2yl, Luka updates, at Luka updates, March 25, 2025. Mosley left the Mavericks in the 2020-2021 season and was named the head coach of the Magic for the 2021-2022 season. After the Lakers lost to the Magic, Doncic praised Wagner and Banchero. Trying to stop them is really hard, they can do a little bit of everything and those two are special players in this league, Doncic told reporters on Monday. Dwight Howard takes subtle shot at LeBron James for Luka Doncic trade. Dwight Howard subtly calls out LeBron James while reacting to the Lakers' Luka Doncic trade. Dwight Howard has never been one to shy away from speaking his mind, and during a recent live broadcast of the Lakers vs Magic game, the former NBA champion made headlines with a subtle, but sharp, shot at LeBron James. Reflecting on the blockbuster trade that brought Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis, Howard admitted he was caught off guard. But only briefly. I was surprised for a second. But then I remembered LeBron is on the team, anything is possible with LeBron. 005. More. That one line sent social media into a frenzy. Fans, analysts, and former players know exactly what Dwight meant. While LeBron James may not wear a suit in the Lakers front office, his influence has long loomed large over roster decisions, earning him the nickname Lou GM. Howard's comments, delivered with just enough sarcasm to feel playful, also carried a heavy dose of truth. Because when you really step back and look at it, how does a trade like Luka for AD even happen unless a superstar like LeBron is involved? This wasn't just a standard trade between two struggling franchises. It was a seismic shift that changed the NBA's power dynamics overnight. Dallas handed over their generational cornerstone, one who nearly dragged them to the finals just a year prior, while the Lakers gave up a two-way monster in Anthony Davis. The shock wasn't just in the players exchanged, but in how quickly and decisively the deal went down. For many, including Howard, the only explanation is LeBron's behind-the-scenes hand. To add fuel to the fire, Luka's own father, Sasa Doncic, essentially confirmed how perfect the move was. He praised the fit between Luka and LA, calling the city made for him and saying he plays better under pressure. Meanwhile, reports surfaced that Luka had just bought a new home in Dallas before getting the call that he was being shipped out west, further framing the trade as a cold business move likely orchestrated at a much higher level than Mavericks GM Nico Harrison. That baggage makes his observation about anything being possible with LeBron feel less like praise and more like a backhanded jab. Still, there's no denying that the Luka trade has worked wonders for the Lakers. Doncic is averaging 27.2 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 7.8 assists per game since landing in LA, and the Lakers are trending upward with a real shot at making noise in the playoffs. But the drama around how the trade came together isn't going away.